G1, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's screen accurate. So.
Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, what's happening? What is happening? What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Forge.
What is up, guys?
Fourth episode? Is this our fourth?
This is, I think. Ghost Max, what's up? We already got a hello.
Hey, Ghost Max.
We didn't even get to introduce our guest host. Most importantly, welcome BW Kollector, man. I love your channel. I'm really happy to have you on. Hoping we can get you to grow with us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on your platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So BW, and this is your beautiful logo. Where can people find you at if they were trying to look for you, man?
So, I just stick to YouTube and Instagram. My Instagram is BW_Kollector, KOLLECTR. And those are my two main platforms.
Awesome.
Now, I follow you on Instagram and I am sub to you. We got a couple hellos. Jose Ochoa, what is up, man? You have been with me since day one. I know you're into BW Kollector as well. It is a pleasure to have you watching us tonight. Ghost Max, hello to you. And Ultra Megatronus, what is up? And of course, our weekly best friend over here, Zane Bono, what is up?
I have no idea where that applause came from.
That was I have a soundboard.
That threw me off.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I was just like, what?
If you've got a soundboard that you're plugging tonight, let's do it. Let's have fun.
I got a whole soundboard for sound effects and stuff.
Nice.
We got a wiener.
Nice. Live in front of a studio audience. So, but BW, I'd love to know. Question for you is, how did you get started in YouTube or on social media, reviewing, all that kind of stuff?
Man, so the way I got into it was Instagram. It started with Instagram. I've been collecting for a little bit. Well, for a couple years now, I would say. And there was never really there is a few outlets on YouTube, but it was never specifically on MP stuff because I collect nothing but MP scale. Especially in the Beast War stuff, you know, that's my bread and butter right there. So
Nice.
So I remember trying to go on YouTube and like looking up these videos and like nobody posted anything trans art related. There was never anything covering like, or either there was and I just couldn't find it. But I remember browsing and, you know, even for like Metagate when they first came out with Pterosaur and stuff, like that was one of my first videos too, by the way. And yeah, so it all started from there. I'm like, dude, I guess I'm just gonna start covering, you know, my own stuff because I'm interested in it, you know. Beast Wars has been a part of my life since I was a kid, you know. I was born in '94, so I got the reruns. I wasn't there for like the first couple of shows, like in real time.
Yeah.
So I was watching reruns as a kid.
I was going to ask you what brought you into Beast Wars because you seem a little younger than us. You know, don't take it wrong.
No. Yeah. I just
how how could this generation that's supposed to be, I'm going to call you Bayverse,
Yeah.
why are you Beast Wars?
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's the greatest series of all time.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I get that question too. Like, a lot of people that hate Beast Wars, dude. It's crazy, but again, like I grew up watching Beast Wars because of my older siblings. You know, they Saturday mornings, dude, big ass bowl of cereal, and it was that. You know, that was the vibe. And I remember watching Beast Machines, and like, I had this conversation with Jose too, and you know, it was, you know, going into the Beast Machines, it was really dark. You know, it felt
Yeah.
different. You know, it was a different aura for sure. And so, getting into Beast Machines and then RID and like all the other things, I didn't really pay too much attention to G1. Um, but as I got older, you know, you have to put respect on it. You know, you don't have to like it, but you gotta respect it.
That's
gotta
it.
respect it.
You know what I'm
Gotta-
saying? So, that's my origin on how you know, and like I said, Beast Wars has just been a part of it. It's been there. It's been in my ears since I was a kid, man. Like they're animals that transform. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it's so cool. Now, Jose says Beast Machines is underrated.
It is.
I totally agree with him. I love the dark undertone. I will agree, season one's rough, but season two, and that show just goes balls to the wall with how bad and evil Megatron is. There's nothing like it, and it really deserves its chance. I agree. Kids' cartoons and cereal, man, amen. I missed my A-Team cereal, my Batman cereal. That was all the same crap, but
Oh yeah.
it's so good. Autocorrect, what is up? And Darkonin, welcome, man. It's good to have you here. Sadly, I got to watch the sugar and all that. That sucks.
I do too, but you know what? I still gotta sneak it in. You know, I gotta get my crunch berries on. You gotta make that happen.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that was the golden age back then. Saturday morning cartoons. You
Yeah,
gotta
man.
beat your dad to the television, watch what you can before he went and turned on the westerns. And
That's
so,
it. Yeah, man. My dad was Bonanza all day. God
Yeah.
rest your soul, Pop. I love you.
That's it.
So let's do real quick, BW. What we do here, we go into a little quick news panel. We kind of sum up and round up exactly what we saw this week that excited us, and then we go right into our topic. And autocorrect primer. I agree on Transformers Underground. There's actually a game running right now where all you have to do is name your favorite Transformer of all time. And I straight up said Beast Wars Megatron. That dude set out to do what he wanted. He, from through Beast Wars all the way to the last episode of Beast Machines, that guy won. He won the Beast Wars. Nobody else won in terms of bad guys growing up. It was always retreat, retreat, retreat. And he was just the man. So, and Jose, I agree. The only reason Transformers is what it is today is because Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Absolutely, totally.
Absolutely.
While people will disagree, because again, there's like a weird hate train for Beast Wars. I don't think I'll ever understand it, but there's this weird undertone when it comes to Beast Wars where like we're just the black sheep, you know. It's weird, but I'll embrace the shit out of it, you know.
It embraced Gen 1 Transformers. It showed us that, you know, the Gen 1 is still there. You know, this is part of your history. They kind of concluded the Gen 1 series. Like we had a full circle. It's beautiful. Favorite Transformer is Dinobot. Of course, there's no better character development than Beast Wars Dinobot. That guy is just phenomenal. And Scott McNeil did a wonderful job voicing him. I forget the name of the guy on Transformers Kingdom. I didn't think he did a bad job either. I think Kingdom kind of, aside from what they did to Megatron, they kind of handled the Beast Wars all right.
Yeah.
And yes, Beast Wars Megatron did what G1 Megs couldn't. I mean, come on. He's the man.
And David Kay's voice on that, he's just like, he was.
There's nobody better. It'll never be. You can't even imitate it. If you got cast as Beast Wars Megatron tomorrow, you are not going in and pulling a David Kay.
Yeah. Well, you look at like Transformers Kingdom when they did their Beast Wars Megatron, it was totally opposite of what David Kay was. He was a sniveling, you know, conniving, almost like a Starscreamish type kind of guy. But
yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Let's get into some news and products that are coming out. And so, first thing with the news, this, of course, took a lot. I have a bunch of friends who own comic book shops, who own toy stores. I know, Billy, you do, and I know, BW, you probably know some people too as well. This impacts that entire community. Now, from a comic book standpoint, maybe not so much, because I know a lot of people were starting to diversify, especially once COVID hit. DC went their own way. Marvel kind of started distributing a different way. So it does impact some of your smaller independent comic book shops. But where it did impact some of my toy stores that I go to is Diamond was one of their major distributors. And so now with them filing, seeing what's going to happen, are they going to restructure? I know what they're looking at is selling some stuff off, but what are y'all's thoughts? What are some things you're hearing about Diamond Comics filing for bankruptcy?
And that's sad, honestly.
End of an era.
Yeah, end of an era, for real.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree. Yeah, my buddies at St. Mark's Comics are feeling it. I don't think Diamond handled things right, and they kind of put themselves in this position. I feel bad. It sucks. Again, as both of you said, end of an era, without a doubt. But I'm hoping that somebody, every time something burns down, something rises out of the ashes that could potentially be better. So hopefully we get some good news for our comic book industry.
Absolutely.
Open, we're good,
Yeah, absolutely. So this was out of left field. A new stop motion series based off the Transformers 1 continuity using toys. And so, which is kind of interesting. So first of all, they're not my favorite toys, the Transformers 1 Studio series. They are very leggy. I did not care much for their alt modes and stuff like that. Now, I haven't seen the Bumblebee and all that stuff yet. They haven't been released, but interesting that they're doing this after they announced that they're no longer producing movies and stuff like that, but then they're making this. I wonder, are they using this to sell toys, or what do you think is the motive behind this stop motion series?
Who's going, me?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so I'm not really into stop. I respect it, but I'm not like huge on it, like to where it like made my panties drop. But I will say this: I think it's definitely a big like money grab for sure. Like it's just promo, just more promo. Go ahead, Billy.
Oh, all right. So real quick, autocorrect primer stated, I knew this was coming. I don't know if you saw our show with autocorrect primer, but this guy gets all the inside information somehow. I don't know how he does it, but it always comes true. So of course you knew it was coming. My thoughts on this is Hasbro and Paramount didn't market Transformers 1 properly. It was a fantastic movie that just wasn't pitched right. It didn't do as well in theaters as projected. It hit streaming, and I think it's still like in the top 10 streaming movies going, which is great for how long it's been streaming. And I think Hasbro and those guys we need to capitalize on this, and this was the quickest way they could do it. It's a cash grab.
Yeah. It's interesting that's the way they decided to go. But let's talk about some third party. Of course, we're going to talk about some New Age. I know we don't have any really announcements from Magic Square after our show, but anyways, we do have New Age. And this took me by surprise. This first announcement is their Menasor. They finally said, hey, here are all the bots. I've seen this breakdown forever on pre-order, but they finally said, hey, here's our New Age Menasor. So what are some of y'all's thoughts on New Age Menasor? Is it going to be great? Is it going to be not so great? I know Magic Square had the kind of market on combiners for most of the time. So now we got other companies that are coming in to kind of start capitalizing on that combiner space in the legend space. So thoughts, prayers. No, I'm just kidding. Thoughts.
Wait, so this is this Chug?
No, Legends.
Oh, Legends. Okay, yeah. See, I'm not huge on Legends either, so I don't think I'll be picking that up, me personally. But it looks fucking crazy.
It does.
Crazy.
Now, Billy, I know you're excited about this.
I'm a New Age fanboy. So I was a strictly Masterpiece collector. A couple New Age figures were so good that I said F it and sold off the masterpieces, and I went all in Legends. Real quick, Primal Parody, so good to have you here. Please give our love to Gary. I'm praying for him. Had to get that in there.
Shout out.
Happy Accident, how we doing? Good to see you as well. I'm happy this is finally coming to light, but I've already invested all of my combiners into Magic Square, aside from the New Age Devastator, which in our verses, I stated New Age Devastator is my favorite of the two. I'm excited for what is coming, but I kind of feel like it's a little too late because that Magic Square Menasor is fantastic. I am looking forward to it. I will pick it up. I will do a comparison, but I just don't know how they're going to outdo it.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably pick it up as well. Kind of do that comparison too, and just kind of have that duke it out and see who will win. I know I've got the Rising Force one. I'm getting ready to do a versus on that with the Magic Square. Of course, Magic Square is probably going to win that one, but but I'm very curious about this. But New Age also, this guy is shipping very, very soon. These two little guys here. Very, very excited about them as well. I know I have the Magic Square version of Gears. So,
Yep.
But yeah, any thoughts, BW? I know you're not a Legends guy, but
Legends.
He's like,
yeah.
Let's move on.
No. You guys are good. I'm soaking it in.
So
you guys are putting me on right now.
Yeah, we gotta.
Yeah.
So,
real quick, everybody's looking forward to this New Age set of Stunticons. I can't put everybody's in there, but I think our verses are going to be pretty good. Maybe that should be a show.
Yeah, that's it. Versus, more verses. We should do that.
No, like I'm saying a live versus.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, Trailbreaker here. I didn't get the Magic Square Trailbreaker. It's been one of those that I've had in my shopping cart and then take it out and then put it in and take it out and just kind of debating between the two. But I mean, the New Age one does look really, really good, and I think it looks sexy.
BW, what do you think, bud?
This is Trail, right?
Yeah, this is Trailbreaker, one of our season 1 bots.
Yeah, that looks beautiful. Yeah. That's a on mine owning right there.
Yeah,
I'm all in. I own the Magic Square version. It's fine, but it has aged, so I can see this kind of giving me what I'm looking for, and it looks pretty large in the comparison photos. I think it might be close to the size of the Magic Square one.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to see kind of that evolution if that's kind of the way things are going.
I do wish that both companies would have kind of agreed on scale, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And then QQ, I think that's the name of this company. We showed off their Predaking a little bit a couple shows ago. This is some more of their models, but what's really interesting, of course, it's a core class Predaking, but this is showing you it with Dino King parts kind of put onto it. So kind of, again, that Scramble City, interchangeable. I think last time we showed where you could change it with Devastator, with their Devastator. So some really, really, really cool stuff there. And so anyone want to speak on this one a little bit? I can't wait to see more from them. Because again, everything we're seeing right now is just prototype, and so I can't wait to start seeing finalized.
This is who made the Predaking, correct?
Yeah, the QQ, I think, is the name of the company, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And this Legends as well, correct?
No, these are core class.
Oh, core class. Okay.
Yeah. And what's interesting with these BW is they've got a core class Devastator that's coming out, and you're going to be able to mix and match parts. It's kind of like the whole, Scramble City, do what you want with whatever you want to, play with it. And there was even like a Centaur mode, I guess.
Yeah, there's a Centaur mode with their Skylings. That's it, with Skylings. So
very cool. So Billy, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's great. I like core class. I play with my son with the core class figures, so it holds this line or class holds a special place with me. So I'm all in just to have a Predaking, but to see
Yeah.
that it's going to be like a Scramble City type, which for me, that's what a Gestalt or Gestalt should be. I'm all in. Like, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I definitely core class are those despots that you can play around with and just have some fun with.
I have a couple of
And,
them.
and then getting into Masterpiece, of course, X Transbots, they're getting ready to ship really soon their ground bite on here. And so right here, you can kind of see the comparison between theirs and Fans Toys. They're a little bit smaller, but I don't mind a little bit smaller, just especially if you're a little bit space conscious on this. I'm going to show you this slide, but then I want to show you here. This is what the leg mode looks like. And so from here, you can kind of see where X Transbots is going more for that toy style with the arms going down versus Fans Toys going more for the tune accurate on that. So X Transbots versus Fans Toys. I mean, the ever living, everyone's like Fans Toys and nobody else, but I think
Right.
X Transbots does have some legitimate claim, although some of their transformations is stupid hard and stupid crazy. But I think they got some really good bots.
Yeah, and definitely shades of green right there.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you think, Bill? Yeah.
It's final product. Like, this is what we're getting.
This is what we're getting.
I believe this is it. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think it's cool. I'm out of the Masterpiece game unless it's Beast Wars. I prefer the size of the X Transbots, but I do like that Fans Toys look.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
that's
cool.
The one thing I'm learning is like I am running out of space quickly, and so I'm probably going to be starting to transition my Masterpiece stuff out.
Wait till your kids get bigger.
I know, doggone it. And then of course these are close to shipping. Love this little tiny chibi style Predaking here. Does split up into the individual bots. Of course, Dr. Wu's Metroplex that goes along with Dr. Wu's Trypticon. I was late pulling the trigger on this because I was getting ready to order this Metroplex because it does have a transforming Scamper and 6-gun with it too as well. But it's sold out on Shozy Store, so I may have to look at other avenues to get that. So I know, Billy, you're not a big fan of this style, but it's still it's kind of cool. I mean, it is kind of like cute, I would say.
The fact that they turn into their own individual bots and combine, it's really cool, but it is not for me. So BW, you can comment on this.
I love Metroplex, dude. That actually looks really sick.
Yeah, you need to get the big one, the big 4-foot Lumen Resources,
the one with the king and all that, like the crazy shit.
Yeah,
that's
that
insane.
is so nuts. That is so nuts. And then not Transformers related, but Fans Hobby, which we know makes a lot of really great Masterpiece, especially in the Japanese line that I love, with like Super God, Master Force, and stuff like that. But here's their first GI Joe Real American Hero vehicle right here. They are ready to get this out to the public. And so any of y'all G.I. Joe fans here, I know we're here to talk Beast Wars and Transformers, but G.I. Joe and Transformers came out about the same time. What I loved about G.I. Joe is everyone shot, but nobody got killed. It was just like in the cartoons, it's just like there was nobody. It's kind of like A-Team. They get in these god-awful wrecks, but nobody got killed on that. So, but any thoughts, BW, what do you think about this vehicle from Fans Hobby? We're getting a third-party G.I. Joe figure vehicle.
That's cool for the G.I. Joe fans. I'm sure everybody's stoked on that side.
Yeah.
Aren't we going to get a crossover Transformer G.I. Joe film?
Unfortunately, no. Right now, because I know Hasbro said they are no longer funding films. And so if we're going to get a G.I. Joe Transformers, that's going to have a studio's going to have to foot the entire bill for that. So
hold on real quick. Eric, we are discussing Beast Wars after the news. We have Beast Wars collectors here because this is our Beast Wars centered show. We just have a little bit of news that we like to go over with the people watching in case they didn't know about something coming out. So I loved G.I. Joe as a kid. I do not collect G.I. Joe. For me, it's Serpentor and Cobra Commander, and we're done.
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I do collect masks. I do love masks. This is, of course, Manta from Mask. Ramen Toys did release their prototype. of their next vehicle. If you don't have their red gullwing or their great white, which is of course the Thunderhawk, which is phenomenal. I think they did a really, really great job, and I'm still waiting for Hasbro. They said they've got some toy company lined up to release their mask toys for them, the official ones. But in the meantime, Ramen Toys is filling that void for us. So, any thoughts? Mask again came out around Transformers. This cars that turned into cars and stuff like that.
Does nothing for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know about this.
no worries, no worries. Well, we'll just move along. And so something a little bit cute here, and this is something that I think I'm going to get for me and my daughter to do. I don't know if you know this company, but they did the females that were dressed like Megatron and Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, and now they're bringing in these models here where that you can actually swap parts and things like that too as well. So this is a little bit something different. Like I try to do every show, this is just that little bit of something different here that I think just looks really cute, especially if you have kids that are into anime or into this type of style too as well.
It looks cool. I wouldn't mind getting that and, doing something with it with my daughter as well,
Yeah, just like BW Collector said, my daughter, this is right up her alley. So if I grab it, it's for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we had this come out, of course, designed by HasLab, and rumors has it next HasLab will be announced at MegaCon. February 6th through the 9th is when MegaCon is in Orlando. I've been to a couple MegaCons. It's a huge, huge convention. I believe it's the third largest in the United States, behind San Diego and New York. Then you got MegaCon, and then C2E2, and Dragon Con, and all those ones. So I think it's interesting. Hasbro is going to be going down there to announce their next HasLab for Transformers. And so speculation, what do you think it could be? I know we got the last HasLab was the RID Omega Prime. Do you think they're going to continue something like that with the Age of Primes? Which way do you think they're going to go? What are your thoughts, or what would you like to see Hasbro do in their next HasLab?
Man, I'd like to see me personally, I'd like to see them tackle definitely Neo Beast Wars. Like, I want to see a Magmatron or like a big convoy, like something epic like that. Yeah, something that isn't RID or like um, just like the basic stuff we get,
Yeah.
I'm with BW Collector on that. I'm actually, I'm hoping for either the Beast Wars 2 Galvatron, because he was just a big chunky beast. I would like to see either him or Beast Wars 2. There was that giant, like Unicron-esque, like transformer from the end. I don't remember the name of it, that fed off the energy of the planet. I would love for it to be that. It's so obscure that I don't think it would, but I think a Beast Wars 2 Galvatron would be a really nice surprise figure.
I mean, you never know, because like think about, like, you got Victory Saber and Death Saurus, which unless you're a fan of Transformers Victory,
They mean nothing. Yeah.
They mean nothing. But that's what I love about HasLab, is they can take some of these characters that maybe no one else thinks about, or that don't appeal to the mass market, and those that want to crowdfund it, they can do.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. I would love to see kind of a conglomeration of bots or something like that too as well. I would love them to continue with Victory with Lio Kaiser or Road Caesar on that. But we'll see. I know some people are thinking Primus, but I don't think they'll do a Primus. I don't need another planet, especially with the kibble that Unicron had on theirs.
I've removed all my kibble off mine.
Oh, did you?
Oh, it's all off. Done.
And how much did that Unicron cost you, Billy?
$25.
$25 through the
Yeah, I got mine for $25. I won it in Transformers Underground when they were the game group.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then, of course, they did show off the unboxing of. So we're close to final product on this. Where basically it's in production, almost ready to ship out for fall of 2025 of Omega Prime. I think it looks really good. I mean, this isn't a figure they had to do, because I think the first version of it was really nice. But I mean, it's going to be great. I ordered one. I can't wait till it comes in to mess around with it. But honestly, I was never really an RID fan. that much. I do respect the toys. I do love the fact they do combine, and I do love that big ass sword. I think, again, you give me a sword, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. Also, Jose made a really good point. That would be cool if they continued the HasLab line and just gave us the RID Megatron, because that thing is like
Yeah.
the 10 different transformations. I doubt they're gonna do that, but that would be so sick.
So let's say they do that, and I think that's pretty cool. Do you think they would give the extra transformation steps for the Galvatron, even though it'd be in the Beast Wars, even though it'd be in the Megatron color scheme? Because, I don't know. I just think it'd be cool to be able to do every mode, even if it was in that darker tone.
I think so, man. I think it would be really cool to have, for sure. Like,
I liked Rig Megatron personally. I thought it was a fun toy.
I do like to. I'm almost buying. My daughter's into sharks, so I thought about getting her
Sky Bites everything, man. Come on.
There we go. And so
all right,
we're going to some Takara Tomy, and this is going to take us into our Beast Wars conversation here too in a little bit. Look at that! Look at that beautiful shot. They had that convention in Japan, and so the first thing that I want to just kind of point out. This is just to kind of palette cleanse. We do have a repaint of their God Genrai or Power Master Prime into that Nemesis color. I could pass on this. I do love Power Master Prime. I think it looks really great. I do love, or I like him as God Genrai, but I can definitely pass on the Nemesis. I'm typically a big Nemesis fan. I like all versions, but I'm going to probably pass on this one.
Pass.
All right, let's pass on and move on to this. This is what I'm excited about because we never got a G1 RC. And so the Missing Link line, they're going to give us a G1 Missing Link RC. And boy, she is thick. So she's got some junk in the trunk. But I love it. I love her. I like a little meat on the bones.
She's mad thick.
She's thick.
I have to do it that thick, but she's thick.
Like I understand why she wasn't produced when we were kids. Let's put it at that.
No one would have bought her. No one would have bought her.
Nobody would have.
That's
like
Turbo Man and Booster, right? Turbo Man and
yes.
So no one would have bought RC, but I still love that Sunstreaker and that Cordon right there.
Yep.
Sexy.
Yeah,
they look great.
Yep. And I hope we get a
JR wants RC.
Yeah.
There we go. And then this I'm excited about, Robotech crossover with Basara Prime, which is supposed to be the Fire Valkyrie, which we showed off a little bit last week. Here's some more prototypes of it. I think it looks great. I can't wait to see the alt mode to see how, because I'm wondering how they're hiding all the wings and stuff. I can kind of see it, but it's. I think this is one that's definitely coming home with me.
Yeah, like, is it parts forming or like really good at that voodoo?
I don't know. I don't know because I mean it's Takara, so we know Takara can be very good at some voodoo on that. So
I'm only interested for the engineering.
Hold
on, JR. I pray we get a Missing Link Unicron.
That would be so the big fat.
Be crazy.
Yes,
I want it.
Would be so good. That should be the HasLab. Either that or a GoBot Command Center. All right.
Next cell.
Hot Rod. Sorry. I love the stylized version of this Hot Rod. I think it looks really cool. It's kind of that almost that Flame Toys kind of style. Really nice. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Depends on the price tag or if someone puts it in the underground and I can win it. But again, I wouldn't mind having it. I think it looks beautiful.
BW, what do you think, brother?
Want that?
Want that?
I want just shove it in JR's face and just be like, I have it.
That's so funny. I think it's great. It's not my style. So if I want it, I'd grab it. But I do think it's kudos to Takara for stepping outside of the box and giving us something that truly looks like a Flames Toys figure.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. And then Predaking, which is going to be Chug Scale. And so here is, of course, the combine mode. I think it looks gorgeous. It does look a little thin, has a little Ozempic in the waist there. But there's the individual bots, which I think the combine mode looks good. But let's just well, let me just go back to this one. There we go. Let's just look at this picture and not look at this now. We got to look at all of it. But what are y'all thoughts? And we're getting a chug scale that should scale with what? Minosaur, Superion, those guys.
Yeah,
from
Studio
Takara.
Series Devastator.
Yeah. Which, did you see the waffling on that
I'm
guy?
out. I'm out. That's not acceptable.
It's just like,
That's taking our money and spitting in our face. That's why I either do 3P or Masterpiece.
you go.
So BW, what do you think of this Predaking? Because I'm going to start ranting.
Dude, honestly, I think it's beautiful for sure. I think what is it, Chug, right? This is Chug.
Chug scale.
Yeah, Chug scale is just eating it up for sure. Me personally, I'm not gonna get it just because I don't have anything to blend it in with. But I definitely think it's worth a cop for sure.
Yeah.
So I agree with JR. The bot modes are atrocious. I don't like that Razor Claw is so much bigger than the rest of the team. I don't like the hollow bits. It will never, if I get this set, I will never put it in the individual modes. I probably won't even review the individual modes because I just don't like them. But that combined mode is Studio Ox beauty, and that is why I would want it.
Yeah, that combined mode does look good. Are they releasing this as a box set, or are you going to have to buy
I believe it's a set.
Okay, great, awesome. I don't want to have to chase down
Yeah.
individual pieces
I
on
think-
that. And then this
Here we
is going to
go.
bring us into our conversation. We got Masterpiece Cybertron Rattle, aka Rat Trap here. And so we're just going to look through some of these. We'll just kind of just give it the here is the kind of the almost finished product on it here. My thoughts on it, of course, here we go. We got the turn into that. All the accessories that you do get, different faces. The backpack on it is just huge on it. So other than that, I think it looks great. Here's the deal. We're doing a Beast Wars show, and I love Beast Wars, but it's not my favorite. I know that I'm going to learn from you guys a lot more than I would know about it. But I really do enjoy this Rat Trap, and this may be one that gets me into collecting those Masterpiece Beast Wars because just the alt mode here, I think looks beautiful. I think it looks gorgeous. But what are y'all's thoughts on beautiful Rat Trap here?
So first of all, I think it's amazing. All right, that's number one. The backpack, it is a little bulky compared to the CGI render for sure. Like the hands are a little too close. If you look at the actual CGI render, I wish we had a side-by-side comparison, but there is a big gap in between his hands, and this is a little too close and a little too bulky. But as far as like the face sculpt and all the way down to the shins and even the neck, it looks like he has rings on his neck. They even included that. So I think Takara executed this. Like, this is probably one of their most spot on, aside from Rhinox. I think this is a really strong release for sure.
Yeah. So I'm with BW on this. I think it's a beautiful release. There's so much character. If you can go back a few shots, go back right there. Nope. Go forward. That one, stop. When you look at his robot mode like this, which they didn't give us a pose like that in any of the original shots, the detail, even on his like rib section and chest plate, is so spot on. The only complaint I really have, no light piping, which, Rat Trap, if they would have done that where the glow came from under his neck, I would have bought a couple of it just because. I do agree the backpack isn't right, which surprises me because the backpack on the Kingdom Rat Trap worked so well. I feel like they kind of overcomplicated it here, but I don't have it in hand. I don't know what the transformation's like. So, I'm not going to give too much feedback on that. My only worry is in robot mode, his legs look to transform the same way that the Kingdom Rat Trap's legs worked, where the shins tab into the knees. And my Kingdom Rat Traps, they kind of came very loose over time. So that scares me. However, I'm all in. I think it's beautiful. I do think it's a Takara home run. Bring on Air Razor. and
Oh
that's
yeah.
where I'm at. Okay.
Oh yeah. Look at that. This right here. This hero kind of shot here.
I agree about
Very
that
very
damn
nice.
light piping.
I think it's kind of weird that another weird thing, but just to point out, they gave us an extra head sculpt just so he can open his mouth. And it's just like, I don't know, they could have included something else or just a little hinge on the mouth. They didn't need to give us a whole another head sculpt for that.
Agreed, because they did it with what Rhinox and Tigatron and Dinobot all have working mouths, right?
Yeah, correct.
Of course, you're all in for Rat Trap Primal parodies. Um, yeah, and I want one for Rat mode. To be honest, that Rat mode is perfect. It is perfect. There's it. I mean, that's so cool. I'm seeing the first episode of Beast Wars, or
Yeah.
they're about to go save Cheetor. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Let's do
it looks great. It does. It does look really good. This I think will get me kind of into kind of collecting the masterpiece Beast Wars if I decide to kind of still do that.
Don't sleep on Masterpiece Beast Wars.
What is
Beast Wars
do we know the release date and the pricing on this?
September of 2025.
Mhm.
I know at Show Z and a few of the other Chinese retailers, it's going to be under $100 shipped.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I do not know what the American retail is going to be. I'm sure if you do Amazon.jp, you'll get it a little cheaper. But I mean, this thing it's perfect. It's perfect.
But if you do Show Z, they should use your reviewer code.
Mine or BW Kollector, he's got one, and
I don't have one. I need a damn reviewer code. Doggone it!
Yeah, I will never, put myself above someone. Whomever you watch and support, go for it, and just thank you for supporting us as reviewers.
That's it. That's awesome. So, which brings us to our topic at hand. So let's talk Beast Wars. As I was talking to Billy, and we were talking about this show, because I started basically getting out of Transformers around season 3 of G1. Like I said, I'm an old dude. I graduated high school in '93, and so I got out of it. When I caught Beast Wars, it may have been in the repeat, and what I thought about it was, first of all, the technology behind it. This was when Pixar, all that kind of stuff was really starting to pick up. We got 3D animation, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty cool. With Reboot, Beast Wars coming out, and of course VeggieTales, who can forget them?
Watched every episode.
But what was really cool and what was intriguing to me as I watched several episodes of it, was that there were no humans, and it really focused in on the Transformers. Whereas, with like G1, with with any of, even right now with any of them, we have RID or whatever, there's always humans involved. I think the last one, Transformers 1, gave us all robots again, so which was awesome. But this is where, Billy, I'm going to turn it over to you, because we want to talk about kind of some of the why we love Beast Wars, but B, some of the future of some of our third-party companies, things like that. But Billy, let's take it away. Let's talk some Beast Wars.
So just like BW Kollector, I love Beast Wars. I grew up with Gen 1. You can go back and watch every Gen 1 episode, and most of them don't have any continuity. Right? It was just, these are the characters, these are the toys you should buy, and that's it. Whereas Beast Wars comes in and it's a limited budget, so you're limited to several characters. And the first season was like 24 episodes of character development, and you got to fall in love with these characters. And as it progressed, you knew who they were, you knew what they stood for, and you really could find your ground as a fan of the show. It almost could teach you, how do I want to be as a human being? So Beast Wars is a very special show to me. That's the bottom line. Those toys, they kept Transformers alive. If it wasn't for Beast Wars, you would not have Transformers. Period. Yes. They were sold out, or not sold out. Hasbro brought them down to a division of Kenner. They weren't even sold under the Hasbro banner back then.
Really?
Yes. And it did so well. By season 2, they introduced us to the fact that these characters were on a primitive Earth. And they brought in the Gen 1 characters, and they messed with our timeline. And it just gave us this full circle. And it was a show that wasn't afraid to be dark. They killed main characters. they killed characters that you said there's no way they're going to kill somebody. I don't want to spoil it if somebody hasn't watched Beast Wars. It's a show that anytime I meet a Transformers fan, I tell them they need to watch from 1 to the end, as well as Beast Machines. Beast Machines was the darkest Transformers series ever. And I love what they did with it. Yes, season 1's tough, but season 2 ends the Beast saga on a really good note.
Hey, we'll just put it out there right now. Spoilers. If you haven't watched it, tough. You've had how many years to watch it? So please. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, just put your fingers in your ears for a little bit or whatever when we do hit those. But because I mean, some of it when we want to talk about it, because like you said, there are plot points that you're just like, oh my gosh, they did that in a cartoon.
I mean, Dinobot. Okay, so we just gave that screw the spoilers thing. Dinobot's death is one of the greatest deaths in television history, cartoon history, comic history. Like that, you felt that. He was a character that for 2 seasons was conflicted. He was, he wanted to be in power. He wants to, be the Predacon leader. He gets his ass kicked by Megatron, goes and says, hey, Maximals are weak. They can't hold a candle to me. Primal whoops him and saves him at the same time. He's constantly switching sides, and ultimately he realizes that his decisions are his own. It's nobody else's fault where he lands. And once he realizes who he is, he sacrifices himself to save the future of humanity. Like that's not something you would ever experience in, Gen 1 Transformers or Rid or any of the following series. So, character development is unlike anything. JR, Beast Wars saved Transformers. People think that Gen 1 made Beast Wars successful or relevant, but had Beast Wars Season 1 and 2 not been successful, Hasbro mainframe would not have tied Gen 1 into the show. I agree. T-Rex Master, hello. How are you? Nice to have you here. And of course, it's Beast Wars. I am absolutely correct. BW Kollector, what do you think, man? You are the next gen in regards to collectors for me. So how you're into Beast Wars and how you're here as a representing, like your channel is Beast Wars. I watch your channel. I sub to your channel simply because of your love for this, franchise, as well as your personality. We're cool, but I'm just saying you bring a lot to the table in regards to Beast Wars. So let's hear what you have to say.
And starting off with Dinobot's death, I think even till this day, man, like just watching that episode, Code of the Hero, it just it's chills, man. You can't watch that too many times. It's just I feel like the older I get, the more it hurts. Just because it's the character development, like you grow attached to every single one of them.
Yep.
And like Optimus said, man, one of the greatest of Cybertron. Like he's probably one of the realest ones on the roster.
Absolutely, amen to that. And Gary's performance as Primal. We grew up with Optimus Prime was John Wayne. And in comes Optimus Primal, and he's your older brother or that cool uncle that's he's trying to do his best, but he's no John Wayne. And he still carries the show, and you love the delivery, and you watch, Primal grow through the series and become the Primal whatever that he was made to be. But Gary's delivery is really what sold, this Optimus Primal, and even through Beast Machines, he knew the character, he became that character, and aside from David Kay, there's no holding candles to the voice work done there from what Gary did. And I know Scott McNeil did multiple characters and we love him for that, but there's a depth to what Gary and David did that nobody could match.
100%. Agreed.
In my view.
Agreed, man. I think Megatron too, like just his voice is like so like Shakespeare, like
yes.
every time he
yes.
just so intense. And men at the same time, you're intimidated by this guy because he has no boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's chilling. I mean, it's like it's calmingly chilling and kind of scary at the same time. Like it doesn't have that, because what's really great about David Kay's voice as Megatron, uh, totally different inflection than like what Frank Welker delivered with his Megatron. His Megatron, raspy, had the, kind of, they made him look like he was kind of that Nazism kind of, kind of like, hey, but they really went to town when David Kay took over and he made, that was like diabolical.
Oh,
Yeah.
Diabolical, like just calm, collected, just evil. And then really went to that dictatorship level when it went to Beast Machines, right?
yeah.
Just kind of just took when we saw a dystopian Cybertron where Megatron has taken over, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The Beast Machines Megatron took
That
it to levels that you would never expect them to take things on a children's TV show, right?
very
Like, here I was I think maybe senior year, a freshman in college when Beast Machines came out, and they're still pushing certain wars back then and in your history classes, and you're watching it unfold in a children's show. It was pretty crazy. Primal is the best representation of a character that has natural leadership abilities, but had to earn his status like any real person. Couldn't agree more with that whatsoever, JR. And yeah, he gives off the serial killer voice, but I feel like as a BW Collector said, that Shakespearean, vibe there. Are there any updates on Gary Chalk's health? I'm not sure. I have not heard anything. I should reach out to some folks and see if there's any update. I've been praying for him. Gary
Yeah.
has done voice. He's done intros for my channel. He has plugged my hot sauce. Like, Gary is an amazing human being. So I would love to see some updates. Maybe we can get some. Now, we did just talk about the show, but I want to talk about Beast Wars toys. All right. And yes, he did, JR. The Beast Wars toys I love. And I seen that Hasbro has tried to bring Beast Wars in, but I think Hasbro's kind of given up on Beast Wars as a mainline sale, right? They're just going to give us piecemeals. So third-party companies came in and rescued us, right? They kept Beast Wars going. And without a shadow of a doubt, when I think third-party Beast Wars, I do think Transart Toys, right? They did the skateboard gorilla. They gave us Transmetal Cheetor. They gave us that Transmetal Tarantulas that you could just drool over and die for. I wish I bought 7 of the damn thing. Transart really impressed me with all of their offerings, but unfortunately, they're on their way out, is the way it looks. The owner of the company, from what I understand, they kind of fought with the fans on Weibo and a few chat boards over in China, and almost shot themselves in the foot. A lot of their releases, you had to buy a second release of, because the first one they kind of botched a little bit, and I think that they just kind of floundered a little bit and brought themselves into this position, which is unfortunate because, as I said, their figures are fantastic. Every one of their figures had made my figure of the year lists. Like, I just unfortunately don't see them going forward in a good direction. And I know on BW Collector, you had stated that you had some information that you had heard about them going down as well. I'm kind of going to let you talk about Transarts and your opinion on them.
Yeah, so from what I got on the Weibo chat was, it was a lot of the after sales, right? It was the complaints on, just the QC in general. And this is a thing where I've told my buddy this too. Like, it's, I guess it's healthy in a way to talk to them, but also like, there's only so much you can really tell them. Like, I feel like if you get too close and there's a lot of toe stepping, is what I'm trying to say, and you know, they're the ones distributing the figures, so rightfully so, they're gonna have a sense of entitlement to be like, you shut up and don't tell us how to do artwork. But I also see it from the consumer standpoint where we obviously don't want a figure falling apart.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm conflicted a little bit. I'm in the middle, I really
Yeah.
want to continue. I want that depth charge. I want to see Rampage.
I've been dying for Rampage.
I want to see a Tiger Hawk. I know it wasn't announced, but I want to see a Tiger Hawk, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, I forget that company, but they made the Winged Dragon, and they were one of the ones that got, I think Hasbro reached out to him and was like, don't even get near that thought.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Winged Dragon is a beautiful figure. And I think you are right. I think they did get that cease and desist from Hasbro.
Yeah.
But I think that's because they did have a Transmetal 2 Megatron in the works, whereas these other figures aren't really in the works. There's no Transmetal Tarantulas coming from Hasbro, no Transmetal Cheetor. Now, I love Transart. I love them. I love what they have to do. I think personally, and this is part of why I wanted to do this show this week, I would like to try to reach out to them and maybe try to pitch them, or let's see if we can get other people's opinion on them going towards the legend scale, right? If you have those figures in legend scale, you can now appeal to the Legends collectors, the Beast Wars collectors, and the Masterpiece collectors, because they're going to scale with those Masterpiece figures. Imagine the Transart Megatron, the Transmetal Megatron, which is beautiful, in a smaller scale. I unleash this storm of justice on a Masterpiece Optimus Prime. I mean, it's just, I'm drooling thinking about it. Real quick, I'm going to stop everything. Gary's doing okay so far. His third chemo treatment will begin next week. I'll ask him soon for an update to share with everyone. Thanks to everyone for your love and support. I'm very happy to hear that he's doing okay so far.
Gary Talk is awesome.
Yeah,
and a lot. He did help me with my one of my intros in my channel. Just a really quick story on that. I had reached out to him through a friend, and that friend obviously clicked us up. I requested him to make an intro for me. Like, dude, you're the almighty Gary Chalk. Like, dude, I'll pay anything. Like drooling. So he had made it for me, and I'm like, cool, send me an invoice. Never got an email back from him. And I'm like, what the hell? So I think he went live one time, and I'm in the comments like, Mr. Gary Chalk, it's me. Like, send me, like you had send me some audio a few months back. Like, send me your information again or whatever, like with the invoice. And then he's like, no, that was a gift from me to you.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's that great of a person. He did the same over here.
Wow.
He's just great. I'm sorry, and to hear him going through this, it really upsets me. Now we're on this Gary thing. Gary, we love you. Let's go back to the toy talk. BW Collector, what do you think about my thoughts about maybe Transart just downsizing those molds and giving us some legends? Do you think that could save them and bring them back from where they're at right now?
I think it could save them, but it also doesn't eliminate the QC issues and the after sale problems, because I think that's one of the main things that they're going through. Do you guys believe that if they change the scale, it's going to be less of a QC issue, or?
So my thought is, if they change the scale, they've got these figures, they've got the molds, they can take the CAD files and shrink them down, right? They can take what feedback they've gotten and apply it to these figures.
Yeah.
Right. They know what the fans want to see. They know what people are going to spend money on. So, hey, we're going to do it. We're going to downsize them. They're going to be compatible with your Masterpiece and your Legends displays. And we've gone and we've made these changes. We've maybe given you some ratchets, or we've, fixed some tolerances, whatever it may be, or, hey, we figured out the paints. I think it might be something where it would work. I mean, real quick, just to emphasize my thoughts, this is Robot Toys Caesar, right? Fantastic figure. Robot Toys is killing it with these Beast Wars Legends figures. You put him with the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, and you've got a pretty good scale. Now imagine that's MP44, and it's done. It's over. You've got this Beast Wars scale that we grew up thinking it was. So I kind of feel like, yes, Transarts could really nail it. And like I said, I really do support them. I like them as a company. But as I stated, Robot Toys, these Beast Wars figures, this Caesar was my figure of the year last year, okay, or 23. This Caesar is amazing. The Megatron's really good as well. Not as good as Primal, but really good. And now they have Cheetor and Shadow Panther dropping.
Yeah.
And they give you the option to switch parts out to make them show accurate as opposed to the stylized take that they took. What do you feel about Robot Toys, Beast Wars Collector?
I think they're making a kill where they got the Shadow Panther, right, with Cheetor.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they're the ones making the quote unquote MP Scorponok too, correct?
Correct. And that kind of worries me.
It's a little because now they're, it's like Legends, it's MP, like I don't know
your focus.
they're jumping, they're double dutching, so
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think they should have gone the route like Magic Square did. Like you build the Legends and then use that to make your masterpiece, like they're doing with their Bruticus.
Exactly.
Right. So because they've already worked out all the kinks, the bugs, and stuff like that out with the Legends, then they can scale it up instead of starting that way. Now, like you said, TransArt can do the opposite. They've got that mold, they've got all the feedback, they got everything they need. They could scale it down, build them some revenue, some resources there, and get that back. Get some finances pumping back into them to maybe start reviving that, their brand again. But form follows function, and if it doesn't work and people are reaching out and they're not reaching out back, your company's dead. Because if you can't appeal to your fans and you can't appeal, I know you're not going to make everyone happy, but you can at least make the majority kind of know that, hey, I've heard you. We're going to try to do better in the next one, or whatever it may be. So instead of saying, hey, screw y'all, we're going to do what we want to.
Yeah, I healthiest route that TransArt can take at this point is to, I don't know, man, get rid of the Weibo, like the personal one-on-one chats. I think that's probably the healthiest thing they can do for their company, because they explicitly say that they're organized attacks, and like it's just malicious returns, after sell damage claims, like everything that comes with it.
Yep. My tarantulas came missing pieces.
Yeah,
and, which is fine. I got the replacement pieces. Shows you sent them over, but that's stuff that shouldn't be missed. Like you shouldn't be assembling figures and seeing them. You see that something's missing. It's obvious. So that's an issue. Robot Toy Scorponok Masterpiece. I think we just touched base on that, JR. I think it's cool that they're doing it. I just think it's too early. And that's how I'm going to look at that. And yes, Magic Square has shown they can do both. And Zane Bono on our side. It would be freaking fantastic if TransArt did Legends. The cost for them would be better. And Legends Collector, I mean, I'll be gulping them up. And as a masterpiece collector, I would have bought them. But they got to keep price in mind. It was $25 for this Optimus Primal.
Yeah.
$25. I'm not going to drop $50 on a Legends scaled Optimus Primal, Transmetal Optimus Primal. It's not going to happen, especially when I know Robot Toys can push out quality figures with diecast. All right, we've got diecast in these for $25 to $35.
But if they're on the quality of, like, say, a New Age, which is a little bit more,
40?
Yeah,
you got to think this isn't going to be New Age engineering.
No.
What TransArts did was they took the original Beast Wars figures and they improved them a little bit to make them modernized. So the engineering was already covered by Hasbro, aside from a few, fixes here and there that people on the TFW 2005 boards probably customized already and showed you how to do. Again, I'm not trashing on TransArts. I just think that for the engineering, $50 for a figure is not going to cut it in a Legend scale figure. So it's going to boil down to their price and their quality.
Agreed.
If they decide to do it.
If they decide to do it. So real quick, I know this isn't Beast Wars talk, but New Age is doing 3 scales. I believe their Megatron is a one-off just to make some money on the fact that we don't have a gun in the Chug scale. I don't think we're going to see any more figures in that size from New Age.
It's their middle finger to Hasbro saying, look what we can do.
Yes. And I'm shocked they didn't get the cease and desist, because I think the Studio Series 86 Megatron drops in like July.
Yeah.
So it's pretty close to the release window.
Which I'm still curious at what that, I know it's going to be a freaking tank, but I'm just
I think it's going to be the core class Megatron design, but they're going to give us some extra panels to kind of hide the tank treads and all that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
All right. Let's keep going. Let's talk about our Beast Wars figures and all that. I think there was one other company that was doing legend scaled beasts. I have their Black Arachnia. I don't remember the name of them. They did Black Arachnia, Rat Trap, Scorponok, and Transmetal Megatron. And the Rat Trap, Black Arachnia, and Scorponok were done pretty well, but the Transmetal Megatron was just worse than the Hasbro with brown plastic syndrome, which ultimately killed their line. Feeling on the Trans Art Silverbolt. I stated in my review, there he is right there, that there's some issues, but they're just enough to keep him interesting. To quote Silverbolt, it's a really good figure that I think another like month or two of polishing really would have made it stand out as an elite figure. He took like spot 7 or something in my top 10 list for last year. It's a good figure, but it really could have shined if they would have just given it a little bit of love.
Yeah. Was it Transform Element that made the other legends? Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna
Warping off the Megatron and Black, right?
I have Black Arachnia right here. And I mean, that's great. She's great. She looks great. She scales with the robot toys just fine. I have her on display with the Megatron on a custom base I made. Really good quality figure. And this figure's old. This is like 10 years old. And look at that. I mean, that's not wiggling. That's not like that's tight. That's what I want my toys to be. And I think she was only like $20.
Well, you also got Iron Factory, who's doing their stylized versions.
Let's talk about that.
The
Japanese what do you think of Samurai Optimus Primal over here that Jimmy busts my balls on constantly?
Dude, that thing is killer.
Isn't it? Yes.
That's killer.
You need to get it.
I quit.
This is the thing is like it's so like it's not, we know that that's not an actual representation of Primal, but it's just one of those things that like, dude, he's a samurai.
Yeah, it's got the helmet. It just looks so cool.
It has a nice little flair to him. I think it's cool just to appreciate the design. I don't have it, but I have it in my cart on Chelsea. Or I had it at least.
It'll be here next week.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I'm sorry. I'm a Beast Wars purist. I love the simple.
I know, Iron Factory's doing their Optimus Primal. They're also doing a Tigertron, and they're doing a Cheetor as well on that.
Listen, let's be honest though. When they do a Samurai Dinobot, everybody is going to lose their mind and buy it, even if they're not Beast Wars fans.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you look at their Samurai Grimlock, which is probably one of the, besides like a New Age Magic Square, it is a freaking phenomenal. And I know Zane Bono will say that Iron Factory Grimlock is freaking amazing. But imagine if they took that mold and did do Dinobot. That would be so cool with the flags.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off. I think JR is right with this. Other scales has divided their teams, because the last few Magic Square releases I've had, Dinobots, their QC is trash. They are loose, flimsy figures, and it shows that their attention is not in their Legends game. Again, it is why I'm such a big New Age supporter. They are always quality. And Cam, I would actually like to see Beast Wars set in medieval Japan, because there'd be a story and a show and everything to go with it that might sell me on the samurai look. I will say Samurai Tarantulas might be cool to see how they pull off those spider legs and all that. Like, could those be multiple swords? Like
a General Grievous kind of thing?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That would be amazing.
He's taking the swords of dead warriors and he has them with him, and it's just like, it would be so cool.
Yeah, Tarantulas is one of my favorite characters, so I'd love to see that. I would love for them to just go into depth on his background, because we never really found out like what his background was. Yeah, Megatron says that sniveling Unicron spawn or whatever, but I took that more as like he's an asshole, not, he's the spawn of Unicron. So I would love to see really what his background on the Tripredacus Council, where they came from. I would love a prequel series on that.
I
You
would
could
love
have
to
that
see.
running
Yeah.
while having Megatron's theft of the golden disc going on, along with the Maximals creating this Protoform X from Starscream's Spark. Like, there's a really cool prequel you could do with Beast Wars that I think would bring back the gritty, dirty look. I might have to start doing some writing.
Yeah. What might be interesting is to see if Skybound does something with that.
I would love that. I think
'Cause, I
Skybound's
mean,
fantastic. I think they could pay some great homage to Beast Wars. I think that, if their hearts are in the right place. What do we got here?
Hey Billy, do you remember that? And Jimmy as well. Do you guys remember that Dinobot? He looked like a Constructicon. It was, I don't know if it was on Show Z.
Oh, we talked about him, I think, on our second show. The combiner, the Dinobot that combines with the Constructicons.
yes.
Yes.
What happened? Is it gonna is it a thing, or is it just?
Oh, it's a thing. I think it's just in a prototype stage. It's a thing.
Who was it? Is it Dreamstar Toys? Is it their?
I'm looking.
I don't remember whose it was.
I'm looking it up
it's
right
their
now.
Constructicons or Mecha Invasion. It's Mecha Invasion's Constructicons, and they're going to be releasing their Grimlock, which is the first of their Volcanicus, but it's going to have that whole Scramble City where you can put the body of Grimlock as the kind of like the torso of Devastator can be Grimlock, pretty much.
Yes. Now, I did state in our conversation, it looks so much like that preschool T-Rex Optimus Prime.
It does, like it's alt mode. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But I'm
like
sure
Dinosaur
the robot
Train.
mode's going to be awesome, and the combined mode is going to be great. JR, I agree, man. Beast Wars mythology is a major untapped well. I would love for Hasbro to, how many Optimus Primes can we get in a year? I mean, honestly, like, I'm kind of done with that. I would love for a jump into the Beast Wars mythos again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like I said, with the comic books, that's probably where we're going to see it fleshed out a little bit more.
Yep.
Hopefully Skybound has something. I'd love to see how they do the timelines and stuff like that. And it could almost be the whole, I know multiverse is overplayed, but you can do a multiverse kind of Transformers, which I would love to see. Yep. I would love to see a multiversal war with Beast Wars. Then you've got Super God Master Force with the Pretenders. You've got, Transformers Victory. You got all of these just combined to have like an all-out brawl. I think that would be awesome.
I'd like more of the Vok.
I would love more of the Vok. Absolutely.
Like full origin on the Vok.
Yeah, I would love a Vok origin. I know this isn't Beast Wars discussion here, but Dreamstar Toys, I kind of backed out on them with the failure of their Silverbolt. Beautiful designs, poor execution. I'm not a Dreamstar Toys supporter.
Yeah, they're it looks gorgeous. It does look good. Yeah, it looks on everything.
Mythical Beast Wars had some awesome fan art years ago. I would love some Mythical Beast Wars designs, a Cerebus and a Hydra and all that stuff. Let's do it. Sign me up on some Mythical Beasts. I'm totally down for that. I think we had not a unicorn. Was there a unicorn? I know there was a horse, but I feel like, I don't know, but I'd like a Pegasus would be pretty cool. A Phoenix, like, I'm all in for that.
Yeah.
Even Deluxe is getting tired of so many Optimus Primes. You hear him gasp before he announces a new Prime. I agree. Like, it's time for either a completely new series, or let's go, if we're going to start digging into the wells, let's give us a good Beast Wars run.
Yeah.
I
think the problem with Hasbro though is they're going to cater to what sells, right? Think about, like, you had Waspinator that just occupied the shelves.
Yeah, but that Waspinator was literally shared engineering with the Thrilling 30 Waspinator, and the insect legs were so thick it just looked silly. It didn't
Yeah.
look right. I do have the Inferno from Kingdom or whatever that was. That's in my masterpiece display as my stand-in. Beast Machines. Yes, that was it. Beast Machines had a unicorn. I knew it. I knew it. And it was a very hard figure to find. In fact, Big Bad Toy Store had to release their own batch for people to get one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can you explain the poor execution? I'm fairly new to third party. So that Dreamstar set, the silver bolt had a tendency of falling apart and breaking in people's hands. And when you're releasing figures and buying figures, they shouldn't be doing that. You get a company like New Age and even Transart. Like, I've never had a Transart break on me. Sure, I've had some paint issues or some missing parts, but they've always rectified my issues. Whereas with the Dreamstar, they were so brittle, and it's just, do you really want to throw $200 down on something that's going to snap when you're transforming it?
Absolutely not.
No.
I would love for Hasbro to bring out a new series of all new Transformers. I would too. And it's kind of why I like Rescue Bots. It was all new Transformers. And I applaud Legacy for bringing us updated, mature designs of the Rescue Bots characters. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, Eamon, I hope that works for you for an explanation. If you are new to third party, Fans Toys, X Transbots, Magic Square, New Age, those are companies you should be jumping into.
Yeah. Fans Hobby.
Fans Hobby's great. Zeta's got good figures in the masterpiece scale, but do not buy their legend scale figures. The Zeta Toy Superion is not good in legend scale.
Fourth party wise, Black Mamba has been a good.
Oh yeah, Black Mamba's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I love their Tarn. Their Tarn is freaking light years above Hasbro's.
I want to see Neo Beast Wars.
I would love
that. Would be great.
I want a resurrection of that as well.
Neo was great.
Reintroduction of Neo. I feel like there's a big gap, and that side of Beast Wars doesn't get a lot of respect either.
No. Beast Wars Neo, I wish had an American release. I liked Neo more than Beast Wars 2. Beast Wars 2 is a little like just childish, but Neo was friggin' awesome. There is Transformer Rollouts Commander of the Stars with the brittle fingers. I believe they did send out replacement fingers and hands, though, to the buyers of the original release. Fourth party is knockoffs. There are companies that knock off even third-party companies, and they sometimes improve upon the designs. So they might give you, what's that?
I'm like, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you'll get added transformation steps to maybe hide a backpack, or you'll get fixed articulation, or an improved head sculpt. Who knows? But again, with fourth party, you have to be careful because their plastic can be real bad.
But
Yeah, like,
I would, but yeah, and then, but like from an improvement standpoint, so like for instance, there was Siege Jetfire, and then the Vincor, I don't remember the name of the company, Fire in the Sky, and that's their oversized KO Jetfire, which had die cast, it had lights in the eyes, it had a little panel that hide all that undercarriage. Superior in every way on that. So yeah, fourth party, you got to be careful. I would read the reviews on Show Z and things like that that people put out, or look on YouTube for some reputable reviewers like Billy, Deluxe, MGO. Those guys, are really great.
Billy will cover it.
I try to cover a little bit of everything. I've started jumping into those Jurassic World toys.
I saw
they're great.
Dude, that Allosaurus is one of the nicest toys I've messed with in a long time.
Dude, my son is like super into Jurassic Park.
Yeah, you're lucky, man. That's good stuff.
The thing.
Which, gosh, if they were going to do crossover, more Jurassic Park, Beast Wars.
So I would have loved them to continue that, but the Rexy that I got was so loose. It was a reuse of the Megatron mold, and it already had like mold degradation. So I actually returned it. Fellas, is it just me or some of Takara's engineering and recent releases to come have a third party feel and influence. So absolutely, and we've discussed this. Hasbro and Takara allow these third party companies to happen because it's free research and development. So when you look at the recent Superion and Menasor, they have elements from Magic Square. You know, they studied what these third party companies that are selling figures are doing that we as collectors like. So yeah, you're definitely getting that third party influence. And I think that's a good thing. You know, Hasbro and Takara allowing these companies to make figures that we collect and then incorporating some of those designs into figures that Hasbro purists, you know, are getting to experience. I think it's a good thing. It benefits everybody. JR states, definitely being influenced by third parties. So as Hasbro, their recent legacy figure of Gears looks like Bad Cube Grumps. It is nearly identical.
Yeah. So the question for, I know we touched on it a little bit, but where would you like to see the future of Beast Wars? Both.
So I'm going to let Beast Wars BW Kollector, I'm going to let him take that.
Yeah. Both, I would say the mythology, whether show, comics, as well as toys.
Sheesh. I want Beast Wars everywhere, you know me. But that's obviously far from the reality. But I will say that Billy made a good point earlier, whereas to in regards to figure wise, perfect example, trans art. You know, if they really were to put their head on right and venture into doing legend scale, and if that's the way we're gonna get it, and they're gonna continue that path and push out some quality stuff in legends, so be it, dude. I wouldn't mind seeing any of that. Like the more the merrier. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and I just want to see Beast Wars continue and never fade away. That's my ultimate goal, and that's why I do what I do on my channel, because there's an audience out there that wants to listen about it.
That's why I subbed, man. I love what you put out about Beast Wars. That's why I reached out and said, you need to be on this show. You know, you have a passion that a lot of people don't have for what is arguably the greatest Transformer series of all time. You know, I enjoyed Rise of the Beasts. I liked the way the Maximals were represented. I felt like there should have been another 45 minutes of the Maximals that we didn't get. Like, how do you not use an Air Razor bot mode at all on screen? You know, how do you not have Rhinox? They hired David Sobol. They hired the voice actor for Depth Charge to voice Rhinox in Rise of the Beast, and he doesn't have a line in the final cut. Like, there's got to be so much more that we didn't see at all. But as I stated earlier, for me, Beast Wars should be continued by Hasbro. Maybe in the core class, somebody had mentioned that they have the Beast Machines core class Cheetor and they loved it. I agree. But if we could get those third-party companies to feed us Legends Beasts, I think they would have a money pit like none other, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And for the official releases, give us a comic book, like you stated. I would buy every issue of a Beast Wars comic if it's to the level of that Energon universe that we are getting now, by far. Again, though, I'm pro Legends Beasts. I want to see them all. I want them. But history-wise, I want a prequel. I would love to see the deep, dark secret of the Axelon explored. Give us the whole Protoform X story. Give us what happened with Depth Charge on Colony Omicron. Like, give us that. Give us the Tripredacus Council and Tarantulas' plan. Let's see Megatron coming up. I know BotCon tried to do that. They did a BotCon set with early Beast Wars, and that's really cool. I'm down with it, but it could really be explored and be something special at all. Hasbro may realize what they have, but because of outsized social media voices, they are too afraid to bank on Beast Wars. You also have to remember, guys, they've got a board of directors and investors that they need to keep happy. And these are people that are not collectors. These are people that say Optimus Prime, Megatron, Soundwave, Starscream over and over and over again.
They sell.
So, but if, again, what do we get with Beast Wars? We had Starscream's ghost visited, and possessed Waspinator.
Yeah.
which was amazing. So cool. Rat Trap, mentions what in the name of my great aunt RC in the middle of an earthquake.
Yep.
Speaking of RC, Transmutate was voiced by the great Susan Blue. So we had these Gen 1 references. Beast Wars is, to me, it is Transformers, man. It is the heart and soul of Transformers. I understand what Gen 1 started, and I understand where we went, but the level of seriousness and the level of depth that we got through Beast Wars and Beast Machines, you're never going to see again. And that's just how I feel. MMC's Transtech Cheetor, I like it. I think that's pretty cool. I would have loved to have seen a Transtech line. I was upset that Transtech was canceled. If a third-party company came out and made the Transtech figures, I would buy every single one of them.
Absolutely.
What about you, BW? Were you aware of the Transtech stuff? Like, I don't know your level of Beast Wars in regards to that.
For the trans tech stuff, I heard of it. But wasn't it like stylized?
It was very stylized.
Oh.
It was almost like a not Macross, but it had such a different take. It didn't feel like Transformers, but it almost seemed like a really good logical evolution with combining the beasts and the technology. Better than Beast Machines would have pulled off.
Yeah.
I think Transtech really could have been a beautiful next step. You named your daughter RC because of the 86 movie. That is awesome. That is awesome. There's no way my wife would let me pull that off.
Yeah. Sorry. Couldn't name my daughter Megatron. We picked Katie Sue. So.
Well, Meg from Family Guy is Meg because her name is Megatron. JR would buy them. Of course you would. I think you are the biggest Beast Wars fan I know. Our friendship started with a lot of Beast Wars talk. He helped my channel get a great start, and I owe a lot of my channel to JR. There's no other way to put it. So you're going to get a shout out, just like Autocorrect Primer does. But yeah, I think Beast Wars again. I wish I had some Masterpiece cars, but I sold them all off. This is right to me. This is a beautiful future for Beast Wars, and I would imagine some of you Beast Wars collectors out there agree with me. I just can't see how they wouldn't. I do think, though, with Takara, I don't know if we talked about this or not, and we may have because we've been going for a while. There's the rumors of the official Masterpiece Waspinator coming, the official Waspinator Season 1 Tarantula is coming, and a Beast Wars big convoy is in the rumor for future Masterpieces. I want somebody to tackle Air Razor. I need an Air Razor for my set. What do you guys think? Are you excited for the potential of a Masterpiece Waspinator?
Of course. Waspinator. I hope they can make an accessory where he gets smashed into the cube and it's just his head.
The cube has to come.
The cube has to be there.
Or you can just a little gimmick where there's like a pull lever and his finger comes out and kind of drags the box. I'd be so
awesome. That'd be awesome. And I definitely would want a big convoy. Big convoy would be so freaking amazing.
Yeah, please. We already have the Leo convoy.
Give us more. And that Leo convoy was executed better than the Masterpiece. It was so smooth and so well done. And then they released an anime accurate version as well, which is mind-blowing. Cam, so sad about death threats scaring Aaron Archer from doing the Transtech line. It is a crime. I couldn't agree more. We were stuck in an elevator together at TFCon this year in October. And Aaron is one of the nicest people on the planet with a true passion for this series. And I agree. I couldn't believe that he received things like that as well. And that just shows that this fan base sometimes is hard to work with and hard to deal with. But that's why we're doing this show. We are doing this show to show that we can be a community and we can pull each other together. Jimmy and I will always be pulling in reviewers like BW Kollector that deserve a spotlight, and their voice deserves to be heard because he makes some great points in regards to the Beast era.
Yeah. And here's the cool thing. I mean, here's the great. You could agree, you could disagree, but there's no hate here. It's all about the love. All about the love of what we do. And that's the thing is, like, when people get so divisive about like, no, this is the worst or this is bad and you are horrible because you like this. There's something wrong with the world there. Why can't we all just love it? Love what we love these amazing plastic crack that we have, whether it's Beast Wars, Beast Machines, Gen 1, third party, Hasbro, doesn't matter, that we can all live in a world where it all is there. And I thank God that we live at a time where we can have it all. And so that's what's
Absolutely.
great about
We
the
are
show.
very lucky. Now, Cam says, look up Takara's Web Diver. He kind of feels like it was a Trans Tech child. So I'm going to do that tonight, 100%. Metagate needs to release a Masterpiece Air Razor.
That would be cool.
JR, I don't think anybody could pull it off but Metagate. Their Pterosaur was so clean and so smooth. Yeah, the head sculpt sucked. Let's be honest, that it was sunken in far too far
Yeah,
for
I had
my taste. But the engineering and what they pulled off, oh my goodness gracious. And yes, it was a dark time for our fandom. There were some horrible, horrible things going on during Trans Tech on the web. It really showed the worst of the internet. I forget, there was something I wanted to ask BW, and I
all yours.
no, I forget. I'm sorry. With age, you kind of forget things.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Damn it. I wish I could remember what I wanted to ask you because it was a good question. It was a good question, damn it.
For the G1 stuff, like it was what Jimmy was saying, like we're here as a whole group respecting one another's whether we agreed or not, agree to disagree. It took me a long time to appreciate G1 design. I think it was about maybe like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like 4 or 5 years ago. To where I was like, okay, like this is fucking dope.
Yes.
But I'm saying it because I grew up strictly on Beast Wars. That's all I knew. I didn't know any timeline behind. Mind you, I was 6 years old watching Beast Wars, Beast Machines, and then et cetera, et cetera. I didn't go back. I didn't know of anything behind me.
Yeah.
Growing up on Beast Wars almost spoils you. You're not going to get anything like that. So I can totally understand why it took you some time to get into that.
Well, it's the cool thing is like everyone, depending on when they grew up, that's their Transformer. So for instance, my daughters, Transformers 1 is their Transformers. There's people, Bayverse, that's their Transformers. And it's just like anything, any fandom, whether it's Transformers, Star Wars, Batman, everyone has their, like, if I asked, different generations, what's your trilogy? My generation's episodes 4, 5, and 6, but there's other generations, episodes 1, 2, and 3. But the great thing is they all it's a circle of life. They all kind of feed off each other. And this is what we can do is we can build off that base and that love of those things. Like I am now like getting Transformers 1 toys for my daughters because they love the movies and now they're loving playing with those toys. My 14-year-old loves Shockwave because he is a diabolical, calculated, just maniac. And I'm like, okay, great, let's get some counseling first. But yes, but she has all my Shockwave toys. She has hijacked all my Shockwave toys.
It's a bad guy Spock. It doesn't get cooler.
I know, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think she likes it because of your shirt, because the different emotions are just the same.
That shirt, Reflector Files, designed the coolest Shockwave shirt ever. Had to buy that. But back to Transformers 1, they did pay homage to Beast Wars in that movie. The upper portion of Cybertron was inhabited by Beast characters.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Alpha Trion was a beast.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Organic. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And that's that.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm pretty sure people were like, oh, God, we don't need to see this shit. But it is what it is, whether people want to accept it or not. Beast Wars is a part of G1, just like G1 is a part of Beast Wars.
It's absolutely.
It's the circle of life.
The circle of life, man. People will bash on it and hate the absolute shit out of it, but it is what it is, man. Like, you ain't gotta like it, but you gotta respect it, right?
I agree with you. I think you said it perfectly, actually. And if I was ever going to close out a show, that's how I would do it. Like, that is great. What is this Beast Wars Drive 52 line? God, you're giving
So
me so
Beast
much-
Drive, that's a Beast. That's Beast Box. Beast Box. Those 52 toys.
I'm gonna have to check.
So their Beast Drive is basically cars and vehicles that turn into like dinosaurs or cats, robots. That kind
Oh,
of stuff.
okay. Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, that absolutely could have been a little trans techie. Amen to that.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
but I know this is older news, but the Maximals were portrayed well enough in the 2023 movie that a private studio picks up a baton and brings Beast Wars back to the movies. I think they could. I would love a film on the Beasts from Rise of the Beasts. What about you, BW?
Some honest character development, because I felt like, as much as I love to see Rise of the Beast and like that feeling again, to just see him on screen was, again, it was like nostalgia,
Yeah.
But I felt like it was rushed.
Yeah,
There was no character development. It looked like someone just watched a 5-minute clip on YouTube and just kind of threw it on there, and I don't know, man. It just there wasn't enough respect on that.
Yeah.
And again, Air Razor didn't. There was no transformation. Like Rhinox didn't say a word.
Yeah. We were robbed in
Crap.
there.
Like there's crap.
But that would be great to have a movie that explores that, because they were on Earth for a long time. When you think about the
we could have
ancient,
so much.
Yeah. And so you could really, really go into that. And but who knows? Maybe a studio will fund that. Say, hey, 100% will fund this. There's always hope. Maybe Hasbro gets out of their thing, what they're in.
You guys want to see a Beast Wars film with human interaction, or would you want it to just be based off, kind of?
I'd want to see that, how they came to Earth. Of course, they escaped because Unicron was eating their planet.
Yep.
And Scourge was after them, after the key. And so I'd love to see how they came to Earth. And maybe they came to Earth in that prehistoric time and they helped civilization. But it would be kind of cool to see just straight up. But you're going to have humans. I mean, that's
the only human interaction I'd want if they did it is that tribe that they were living with.
Yeah.
What's that? You broke up, BW.
Oh, I said with Una and Chalk.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And Megan Fox. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
she's old now. She's old.
Real quick, well, she's got beast thumbs, right? That was the talk of her. Well, Transec always felt like the beast elements merged into the bot modes and into the vehicle modes. Optimus was very monkey, both in bot and truck mode. I agree. I see that, and yeah, absolutely. I would love a third-party company to pick up Transtech. I'd buy every figure. And those don't have to be legends. Those could be masterpiece scaled because they're Cybertronian vehicles. JR says no humans. I don't think there's a studio on the planet that would allow that. New York Hunter's on his way out. Have a great night. Great conversation.
Thanks, NY.
So much, man. Thank you for always tuning in. Have a good night.
I think we're about to turn into pumpkins as well.
I'm about to. Cinderella's going to be heading to the ball soon. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I actually have to go to work in about an hour.
Oh wow.
Man. Night shift?
Yeah, I work night. Mm-hmm.
Well, be safe. I do want to say it was an absolute pleasure having you on tonight. Your opinions were fantastic. Every point you made stuck. I would like you to just one more time give everybody the information where they can find you, how they can sub to you. And that's what I wanted to ask you. So what better way to end it? What do you have in your pipeline? What can we expect to see from you in the future? Do we have reviews coming, or do we have specials on, stories, or, what are we to expect from you?
So before that, thank you guys for having me, for real. Like this is my first time doing anything like this, and dude, I won't mind coming back and chopping it up again.
Amen.
That being said, for the future of BW Kollector, I'm gonna have I think I'm gonna be working with Ian soon to do some voice for the introductions and outros on my channel. I'm gonna actually start a new unboxing channel within Beast Wars Kollector, and it's gonna be called Dark Glass Unboxing.
I like that.
And if you know, you know, right? Dark glass. So that's gonna be another thing. I'm gonna have some reviews on Silverbolt here. I got the Rhinox coming in. Obviously, Rat Trap.
Are you getting the Robot Toys Legends figures? Are you getting that Cheetor and Shadow Panther set?
I'm not gonna get them, but JR is gonna get them, and I think he might send them to me to review. But we'll see. We'll see.
Sweet. Well, I'm looking forward to your reviews. Rhinox took the number 3 spot in my figures of the year last year. I think Masterpiece Rhinox is fantastic. He definitely would have gotten higher up. However, the ankles are poor on my copy, and those eyes are unacceptable. So it kept him down.
Yeah.
So Primal Parodies states, great show. Thank you so much. Truly, please give Gary our love. All right. I mean,
Yes.
there's no better show to have you on here. You know, and if you ever want to come on and do a live show, you and Gary are always welcome. But yeah, so BW, man, I'm looking forward to these upcoming reviews. I'll make sure I have my notifications on for you. Anybody in this chat, give them a like and subscribe. It's really deserved. As always, Jimmy, you're the man. Your positivity always shines through. I hope everybody subscribed to you as well.
And to you, and to you. And I just found your channel, BW. I was looking for it for the last week, and I just found it. So I am officially subscribed. So
I appreciate
there. So I will be watching and learning from the masters. Again, I soaked all this in. Like I said, it's y'all make me want to go now and go watch it. And just kind of do that. And so that's what's great about this show. And hopefully it's inspired others, and those that will be watching this live later, hopefully it inspires others to kind of pick up and say, you know what, let me watch this show and see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, Beast Wars Season 1, there are some episodes you can skip. I believe there's actually like an online list of must-watch Season 1 episodes, because Season 1 of Beast Wars is pretty long.
Yeah.
Kind of like One Piece. There's lots of episodes you can skip with One Piece.
Season 2 is must watch.
Yeah.
And Season 3 is probably the worst season, but it's still a good show. It's a good it's still cohesive with continuity that matters. And then Beast Machines, I enjoy. So, you know, I'll tell people to watch it. I own the DVD box sets. I still watch Beast Machines.
Awesome.
And
all right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. We truly appreciate everybody that's come in tonight. Give everybody here a like and subscribe. It's good stuff. Check out the content of Jimmy. Check out the content of BW Kollector. Give them some feedback as well. Always comments are always, you know, appreciated on our videos. Again, thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys. See you later.